So you're trying to do the right thing, saving up for your first home, and you get a little overzealous. You've put too much money into your first home savings account. What do you do now? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, how to fix it, step by step.
Does this sound familiar? You've been making contributions, you're feeling good about it, but then you check the numbers and, whoops, you've gone over the annual limit. It happens more often than you think.
Okay, first things first, take a deep breath. Seriously, do not panic. This is a common mistake, and the good news is there's a clear process to fix it. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we're going to walk through exactly how you can handle it.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. We need to know what the government actually calls this situation. When you overcontribute, they have a special term for it, an excess FHSA amount. Knowing the jargon is the first step to fixing the problem.
And what does that mean? It's actually super simple. Your excess FHSA amount is just any money, whether you deposited it directly or transferred it from an RRSP, that pushes you over your yearly contribution limit. That limit is officially called your FHSA participation room.
For almost everybody, the year you open your FHSA, that participation room, that magic number, is a clean $8,000. That's the number you really want to keep in your head for that first year so you don't accidentally create one of these excess amounts.
Okay, so you've got an excess amount. What's the big deal? Well, there is a penalty. It comes in the form of a tax that gets charged every single month. Let's dig into how that works.
And this is the part you really need to pay attention to. This isn't just a one-and-done penalty. No, it's a 1% tax that hits you every single month that the extra money is sitting in your account. And it's calculated on whatever the highest excess amount was during that month.
Let's make this real with a quick example. Say hello to Cole. He opened his FHSA, and in December, he put in $11,000. His room was only $8,000, right? So he's got a $3,000 excess. For that single month of December, he's going to owe a 1% tax on that $3,000, which works out to a $30 tax bill.
But now for the good part. We know the problem, we know the penalty, so let's talk about the solution. Because there are very clear, defined ways to make this right.
You've basically got 3 ways to play this. The first is to make what's called a designated withdrawal and just pull the extra cash right out. The second option is a designated transfer, where you move that excess money over to your RRSP. And the third, you can just wait, let next year's contribution room open up and absorb the overage. To really see how this works in practice, let's look at 2 super common scenarios. We're going to call them the active fix, for someone who jumps on it right away, and the passive fix, for someone who kind of lets the calendar do the heavy lifting.
So first up, we've got Ridwan. He realized he made a mistake pretty fast and decided he wanted to fix it immediately. This is our active fix.
Here's what happened with Ridwan. On April 10th, he puts in $9,500. That's $1,500 too much. By early May, he catches the error. So on May 15th, he makes a designated withdrawal for that exact amount, $1,500. Boom, the excess is gone, quick and even.
But, and this is a huge but, here's the thing that trips people up. Even though Ridwan fixed it super fast in May, he still owed that 1% penalty for both April and May because those were the 2 months the excess amount was actually in his account. Fixing it doesn't wipe the slate clean for the past.
Now let's check out a totally different situation. This is Carolyn. She also overcontributed, but she didn't even notice until the year was already over. Her story is what we're calling the passive fix because the problem kind of solves itself.
And this is where the magic of the calendar comes in. At the end of 2025, Carolyn has a $2,000 excess because she put in $10,000. But then on January 1st, 2026, her brand new FHSA room for the year opens up and it automatically just soaks up that $2,000. The excess is gone and she didn't have to lift a finger.
So what's the catch? Well, while the problem did vanish, it cost her some of her future saving power. Her contribution room for 2026, which should have been $8,000, got reduced by that $2,000 excess. So she's only left with $6,000 of room for the new year.
And you guessed it, just like Ridwan, she still had to pay the penalty tax. Her $2,000 excess sat there for 2 months, November and December of 2025. That's 1% per month, which meant she had a $40 tax bill to settle up.
Okay, that was a lot, I know. We've talked about what the problem is, why there's a penalty, and 2 really clear ways to solve it. So let's boil it all down into a simple, straightforward action plan. What do you really need to remember?
Here it is, your 4-step plan. Number 1, don't panic. It's common, it's fixable, you're going to be fine. Number 2,
Choose your path. Are you going to be an active fixer like Ridwan and pull the money out, or a passive fixer like Carolyn and let next year's room handle it? Number 3, just accept that you have to pay the tax. That 1% monthly penalty applies for as long as the excess is there. And finally, number 4, you have to file the paperwork. You have to report all this and pay the tax using the right forms like the RC 728.
And that pretty much wraps it up. The whole key here is to just stay on top of it. Overcontributing is a tiny speed bump, not some financial disaster. As long as you know the rules, you can fix it and get right back to saving. So the real question I'll leave you with is this: are you keeping a close eye on your plan to make sure you stay on the right track?